Hello founder, welcome back. Today's another week, that means another lesson. Today we got a very important one for you guys, and it's probably one of the most important yet most difficult challenges that we often as persons, but especially as founders, have. And it's about the habit of integrity. Whenever people say, you're gonna work harder, you gotta push through, put your mind to it, don't think about it too much, just get into action. Of course, deep down inside, you know what you have to do, right? We all know what we have to do. And that's the crazy thing. We always know what we have to do, yet we don't do those things. So what I think is happening is that you cannot move forward because you have lost to have trust with yourself, right? You have already speaking to yourself that you cannot be trusted on a subconscious level because you have been breaking promises with yourself for too long. You see, a couple of weeks ago when I came back from Valencia in Spain, with every big environmental change, right, there comes a lot of things are coming to your way. Like your whole routine gets screwed up, right? Doesn't matter how, especially when you're moving country to country, right? Your routine gets from sleeping, from eating, from working out. So normally what I would have done in the past is I said, okay, I'm gonna list out all the things that I had to do or that I have to do. So this can be, I need to work out every day. I need to wake up super early, go to bed at a super strict times. I need to have a super strict diet. I need to spend time with my girlfriend, spend time with my family, I need to work 10 hours a day, and the list goes on and on, right? And then the week would start, right? My new formed habit would start. And then I would probably only hit like 5 out of the 10 things that I had to do for that day. And of course, I would be, unhappy, right? I would say, well, but there were 10 items on the list, and even though the 5 of them were super important and objectively speaking, those were really good things to finish, I would still be, in discontent because I didn't finish all of the things that I said I would do. Right, and the next day, I would maybe only do only 6. Maybe I would start writing less tasks down for the day, and then eventually I would lose momentum. I would not finish everything, and then I would, be in a lot of discontent with myself, keep on punishing. Because I have lost trust in myself, right? I have lost to trust myself. And this happens on the subconscious level, because every time when you said that you would do something and you didn't follow through, even if it's like, especially on a micro level, you've just taught your body or your mind that you cannot be trusted, right? Because every time when you break a promise, you break your trust, right? With yourself or with someone else, but especially with yourself. And then you wonder why you're not moving forward, right? Because every time when you want to do a new task, you've already told your body, you're probably not going to make it. You're probably not going to finish it like you did last time, right? So it becomes super dangerous, and it becomes a negative spiral for attacking things or taking on new actions, right? So what you want to do is you want to start building trust with yourself again, right? The habit of integrity, and build up the momentum in a healthy manner. So integrity is not what I thought it was before, like about behaving, always speaking the truth, right? It's actually more about being consistent with your trust, showing up every day in a way that you said you would, do the things that you said you would, right? Even when nobody's watching. And you need to build up trust with yourself over the long run, because integrity, it's not a sprint. This game like literally never finishes, right? This has no ending. Like, you need to do something for the rest of your life. You need to show up every day. You need to build trust and have trust basically for the rest of your life, right? So the sooner you realize this game has no ending, the sooner you need to start thinking of, okay, how can I make this as best sustainable and as long term as possible? So you cannot take sprints for every single item that you want to do, right? You need to start making a habit in which there's almost no room for vagueness, no room for breaking promises with yourself, because that's how most founders go in a negative spiral, and then they become paralyzed in action. Right. So what I did differently this time, when I came back from Spain, I'm living right now in the Netherlands, is I would list again all the things that I wanted to do, right? From playing the guitar, spending quality time with my family, my girlfriend, work, my eating habit, my sport, like my sport routine. And then I would just say, week 1, I would only hit maybe 3 workouts maximum per week, right? And then eat a little bit more clean than I did the week before. And maybe have only 1 guitar session of 15 minutes in the whole week. And that's it, right? And then unpack all my stuff, obviously, from Spain. Then in the second week, I would say, okay, how did the first week go? I would add maybe 1 more workout, right? So instead of 3 workouts, I would do 4. And then I would add meal prepping on that week. And then from there, I would just improve over the weeks and say, okay, what did I do right? What did I do? What could I be improved on? And then when I noticed that I had a very consistent week, or maybe even several consistent weeks, only then would I add another item. Because I know I'm playing the game for the long run. I do not want to take sprints, right? There's no point in taking sprints if you already know that you're gonna fail. And instead of being super harsh on myself, being like punishing myself all the time for not sticking through, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna accept that things will not work out in the first try, and that it will probably take a couple of weeks before I'm getting into my old routine. And you know what, the funny thing is, I've pretty nailed all of the things that I said I would do. Work is going better, my Spanish is going better, my gym routine is going better. I'm cooking meals every Sunday for the whole week. So I've already, like, every week or every day, I'm building trust with myself that the things that I said I would do, I actually execute them. So instead of writing 10 items on the day to do, I would do a maximum of 3, and then I would finish all of them, and then I would do the next day again. So my question for you is, where have you been super harsh on yourself for the last couple of weeks, maybe even months? And then just slow down, right? Just be honest with yourself. Like, what's the reason why you not have been, executing properly? Have you not been showing up? Where have you not been showing up? And just be completely and radically honest, because that's the first step. Observing, accepting what things for what they are, and then say, okay, what is the minimum small increment of change that I can do today to build trust, right? Even if it's, when you said that you would work out 5 days a week and you've only hit maybe 3, okay, accept it. Maybe add 1 more walk for this week. Even if it doesn't count as a full workout, then at least you said, hey, I did the extra mile for what I could do today. Maybe, I would say, tonight I'm gonna eat a bit more healthy, a bit more clean. Maybe I had in mind to get some easy food, maybe some takeaway. You know what, I'm just gonna cook for myself tonight, and I'm gonna do it in a healthy way. Or I'm gonna set some time aside to spend time with my loved ones, call my family, or whatever. Right? But you need to start building trust with yourself today. So slow down, right? Where have you been out of integrity with yourself, and what are the things that you can improve over the long run? Because integrity is not the sprint. You need to start building momentum, because we're all here for the long run, right? So build the habit of integrity, and that's how you and other founders will win. Anyway, thanks for watching for this weekly note. I unpack this one, as always, in my newsletter. So if you want to subscribe down below, then you'll get this one in your email box every week, including all of the other new letters. And then, yeah, man, I wish you a very beautiful day. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.